And we're rolling.
We certainly are, and here we are, MetalTalk, and we're here on a nice sunny day here in London, and I'm talking to Robin Beck. How are you, Robin?
I'm good, Mark.
It's good to see you, and you've got a new album out, Underneath.
Yeah.
It's out on Cargo Records on August the 15th, and
August 12th.
August the 12th, yes, it's August the 15th in Europe, actually.
Yes,
you're right.
and everywhere else.
And tell us about this album, because it's sort of, in many ways, you've gone back to like the sound that you captured on the Trouble for Nothing album.
Trouble with Nothing, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely rocking, like the Trouble with Nothing album, and it's got that great, radio-ready, thematic coursing going through it. The songs are, I think they're very dynamic, and they're very youthful and very powerful, and I subscribe to them. They're wonderful.
It's got a bit more of a rockier edge this time.
It has a very powerful edge to it, and it also has very strong choruses, very memorable melodies, and as I said, it's like a little bit more modern, a little more youthful and edgy.
And you obviously used like outside songwriters in this album, like one from your friend Fiona.
Yes.
And Glenn Burtnick, will be known amongst the fans of AOR scene. And there's also some other writers like the Crush Boys, and tell us about them.
Well, I met them through James doing a little bit of research while we were looking for some new songwriters, because time was really constrained. We had been going through quite a lot of family things that year, and it seemed like time was just getting by us, so we needed to... Well, actually, I have to say James is the one that actually pulled that together, and I heard this song coming out of the studio. Actually, it was Underneath, and I said, what is that, and who is that, and how do I get that, and did you write that? Did you write that while I wasn't looking? Anyway, so found the Crush Boys that way with Charlie Mason and Daniel Volpe and a score of other writers. And one by one, they started rolling them in, and the album started to take shape in a way that was totally unexpected to me. I embraced it completely.
And what other songwriters are there on this album? Because there's quite a long list of writers.
Yes, but I couldn't, without the list, I couldn't tell you who they all are. But we do have Glenn Burtnick, who wrote, and Ponte wrote Follow You, and Fiona, and I can't remember who she co-wrote Ain't That Just Like Love. Mm-hmm. And you can help me out. Jump in here anytime you want to help me out with this. But most of the other songs were written by Charlie Mason and his crowd and the Crush Boys.
And also your husband, partner, James Christian.
Did I just leave him out? James Christian and myself and Jimmy Bell and, of course, Tommy Denander.
And also your daughter Olivia sings backing vocals in one of the songs.
My daughter is killing on the background vocals. Fiona chimed in there also, and they just make me sound so good. Just so happy.
Let's talk about James, because he takes part in the songwriting. He's playing guitar and keyboards. The only thing he doesn't play is like the drums, basically. And how does that work? Because your husband and wife, and you also work together so much. And for some people, that's a no-go area. So is it a good working relationship? Do you have like a strict regime how you work together?
James and I work together really well. I mean, it's not to say that we don't have our issues. We're human beings. Sometimes being on top of each other all day long for months on end can get a little bit crazy. But we work very, very well together. And the first part of that question, you asked me something different. You asked me...
what's the working machine? Is it differently from like the indoor life?
No, you asked me something else besides that.
I think the sun's gone to my head.
The sun has gone to your head, and I live in the sun, so there you have it. But okay, just to recap, working with James is phenomenal, and he's such a great... Oh, I got it. I remembered. How do you like that? There are several musicians on this album. There's Jeff Batter playing keyboards. There's BJ Zampa playing some drums. There's James is playing bass, and also he does play keyboards, and he also plays guitar, but George Solana is also playing guitar. Tommy Denander is playing guitar. We've got Glenn Burtnick, who graced our album by playing on his own song. And am I leaving anybody out? Am I leaving anyone out?
I think we've covered it pretty well.
I hope so.
And obviously, you become a big name in the UK with the hit First Time, which is the #1 hit. And obviously that was like it was a Coca-Cola advert at the time. And has that song been like a poison chalice around you in many
That's
ways?
poison, I want more. Okay, that's the kind of poison that you hope everybody will,
I say it's helped pay the bills and has given you a good life in many ways.
It was the catalyst for my entire career. I mean, it's not that I didn't sing before that. It's not that I didn't do television commercials and this, that, and the other, and didn't have it already what I considered to be a charmed life. This just took it to a whole nother level. This was my dream.
And also,
you're dreaming big.
Of course, and you come a hit again actually in 2006 was the Swedish electronica band Sunblock, and they got you to sing on it again. And did it surprise you? That version was also a massive hit.
You know what? Nothing surprises me anymore. I have to be honest with you. But having that song and doing Top of the Pops again, I think I closed down the BBC with that song. It was pretty funny. It's an incredible song, and many people have tried to, reinvent it, to give it a disco spin or some kind of techno pop thing. But Sunblock, they really, I think they kind of just vibed it out and made it a bit more interesting, and they had their little sexual vibe to it.
That's for the dance floor, wasn't it?
I asked them if I could be in the video, and they said, "We don't think so." And then I saw the video, and I went, "Damn! Are they saying I couldn't be in that video?
Well,
are they saying I shouldn't?"
You could well be, because it was full of like young Swedish babes, but you look so young and good looking yourself, and.
Well, thank you.
And what is your secret? How do you keep these youthful looks and look so good?
I honestly believe it's partially genes, and the other part is just that might be my Jordache. It's just being happy and loving what you do. I'm so fortunate to be having a career that makes me happy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that keeps you young.
Just happiness keeps you young.
I'm not doing anything special. I eat right. I exercise a little bit. I do all the things that most other girls do. I also think that just the world is changing and we're living longer. Medicine has changed our lives. Although I'm not on any kind of medications. Nothing bad anyway. I think I just got lucky, I guess.
Good.
I think I held up pretty well, preserved. You may not even have to involve me.
And first time was a hit in '89, but you think your first single was 1979. It was actually like a disco song, like Sweet Talk. It had Luther Vandross and Irina Kana and backing vocals. And what's the sort of style of music that you predominantly loved back in the day? Was it that style of music that you like, or was it rock music?
I was very into R&B. Way in the beginning, because I was highly influenced by the Supremes and the Beatles and the Rascals and all that music that was just like blue-eyed soul.
Because it's a great record actually. It's got like classic sort of '79 funk to it.
Did you hear the little voice I used back then? It's like this little falsetto voice, and I got to sing "Hello, It's Me." I chose that. I mean, one of Todd Rundgren's best songs ever, and I love it. I love that song.
And obviously the album, Trouble Enough, it was like their first rock album and it featured first time. And one of the songs on the album was written by Holly Knight, Hide Your Heart, which is a great number. And
Paul Stanley.
And Paul Stanley, yes. And obviously he recorded it with Kiss, and Bonnie Tyler's done it, I think Cher's done it, and quite a few other artists have done it.
Ace Frehley did it, and Molly Hatchet did it, and my mother did it.
And for some reason, nobody's had that big monster hit with it, have they? Why do you think that is? Because it is a great song.
I think that we all in combination have had a big monster hit with it, because everybody loves it for a different reason. For whatever band did it, they have their fan base. I have my fan base. Paul has his fan base. Ace has his fan base. And so if you put it all together and you put all the sales together, I think we've got a hit. We helped each other to make a song very popular, because when I do that song live, the audience goes nuts.
Of course they do, yes. And talking of live, you played the UK last year at the Firefest Festival, and obviously it's very rare to see you live on these shores. So how was the Firefest for you?
I felt like it was, a reunion with not only my fans, but my friends, and I felt so loved and welcomed. It was just the greatest feeling. I can't even describe how it whet my appetite I just didn't want to once I got on stage, I was like, oh no, now they're going to have a hard time getting me off. So They did. They had to get a forklift.
I was like, was you nervous before you got on stage?
Yes, I was extremely nervous, but I was excited nervous.
Yeah.
I wasn't the kind of nervous that says, oh no, why am I doing this? But I've had that kind of nervousness before. But this was wonderful.
And I think it surprised a lot of people, actually. And it's only about 2 years ago, you appeared like very obscure, and you have a British heavy metal band, a band called Saracen, and an album called Marilyn, which is it's like a little hidden gem. It's like an album that everybody should own, and you sang 5 songs in it. And it's a fantastic album. So how did you end up with Saracen? You know, was there a connection there, or?
Well, I was recommended for it by my good friend Bruce, and they called me up, and I just did it, and I really understood where they were going with this, and Marilyn Monroe is just like the icon of all icons, and it was very flattering to be put in that place, especially when you've got shows like Smash, you know, doing that whole tribute to Marilyn Monroe and her life. Some of those songs were just really fantastic, and getting to do I Just Want to Go Home. Is that what it technically, I think that's what it's called. I Just Want to Go Home. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that song is about wanting to leave this place and go somewhere else, but I took it somewhere else in my head. I just wanted to go home to where I felt.
Well, you certainly stepped your own identity on it, definitely.
I loved it. Doing that song was just like, it's like being home.
Yeah, I'll say it's a great album, and everybody should get their hands on it. And it is unbelievable. We was talking about how good you look, and it's absolutely amazing that you were at Woodstock Festival at age 12 years old. It just doesn't seem impossible looking at you. And also, you must remember it. So, what's your memories of Woodstock?
Mud, needing to get cleaned up, not having any food, running down to the stage to see Hendrix, nearly getting shocked. I got to see Joan Baez, which I wasn't even a fan of hers, but it was astounding to me. I saw as many acts as I could, but most of them I had to see from way, way far away. Because just to get
like thousands of others.
just to get down there could take you a half a day. I mean, and the mud was just so, it was terrible. But it was great.
Yeah, of course.
And I was too young to appreciate all the artists that were playing at the time. But I was definitely part of that experience. And I saw those people standing around me tripping and just getting high and running to the lakes naked. So, and I'd be
of course,
like,
as a young girl, you were too young to drink and anything else. You were just an observer in many ways.
I didn't do anything. I was in shock that I was even there and that my parents didn't try to stop me from going.
And who did you go with? School friends or?
I went with a boy who was like 4 years older than me, who apparently liked me and enough to want to let me have the back seat of the car in my granny van. You know, never put a finger on me and just wanted me to. You know, a lot of the guys when I grew up, a lot of the guys in my neighborhood knew I was a singer before I even knew I was a singer, and would take me out to see bands and artists like Art Blakey and Miles Davis and Jimi Hendrix and Joe Cocker and Fleetwood Mac, and I would be like, I'd be just this little kid, but they knew before me, and they I don't know how I got so lucky. I got so lucky that people would literally say Robin, like they were all my parents. Yeah. They were like teenagers too, but they were 3-4 years older than me, and say, Robin has to come see this. I was the only girl.
So what was your first singing experience on stage? How old was you?
Well, on the real stage was in school. I guess I was in elementary school, and I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I got caught in the rainbow somewhere. And that someday I wish I started that bit right there. And I said, how the hell do I get out of this? I forgot. And anyway, the pianist got me out of it, and I got a little shell-shocked after that, but that was my first experience on stage. And then I was auditioning for everything I could get my hands on.
And you've always been known as like a solo artist. Have you ever been in a band at all?
I've been in many bands. In the beginning, they were cover bands, and then I was with a black band on RCA. I don't remember what name they went under, but when the contract came down, they asked me to be a part of the band as one of the lead singers. This is before girl groups were that popular, aside from the Supremes. And I said no. I don't even know why I said no. But the guys in the office there, we had A&R people. They said, are you nuts? Who says no to a record deal? And I just flipped my tail feather up and I said, me. I don't want to be part of this. And then I went off and took about 3 or 4 more years, and then I took off.
That's great. And totally changing the subject here. I do know for a fact back in the late 80s you had a pet dog, and it was called Dokken.
Yeah.
Spelled exactly the same name as the band Dokken.
Dokken, right.
Was there any connection there?
I thought that Dokken was a very unique name. I wasn't that big of a fan of Don Dokkens, but I did respect his music, and I thought that the band was quite good. But the name was amazing. Yeah. I also had another golden retriever after that, and I named him Pope.
All right.
So that should tell you something.
Yeah, okay.
That's a very good name. Yeah. Actually, that one came from watching the Pope of Greenwich Village, if you've ever seen that.
I haven't actually, no.
That's a
I should look it up for curiosity now.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fantastic talking to you. The album underneath out on August the 12th on Cargo Records. And,
that's right.
It's a great album, so go and get it,
right.
folks.
That's right, and if you can't find it, you can come to my website and you can pick it up there and I'll personally sign it for you. But I want you to request it at radio and ask them to download it and download it and download it and buy it and buy it and buy it because I want a hit, okay? It's my turn.
And if you go out and buy it, she promises to come over and do some tours.
I'm going to come over anyway, but if you come out and buy it, it will make it easier.
Excellent. Robin, it's been lovely talking to you. All the best for the future.
You too. Thank you.